Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter of class 7th NCERT book, that is Windstorms and Cyclones. So before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now we have discussed about the properties of air, that is air has pressure or air applies pressure on the objects where it is being placed. In that we have studied about three situations where air is present inside a container or if it is moving, and also we have discussed about the molecules of air where it is less. Next we have discussed about that air expands on heating. Then we have also seen the hot air becomes lighter and it rises up. Because of the rising up of the air, the wind is formed, and the reason of the formation of wind is also the uneven heating of the land and the sea, and also the uneven heating because of sun on equator and poles. We have also seen that speed of wind is always forming a low pressure area. And lastly, in the last class we have discussed about that this fast moving wind also becomes very destructive, as it is going to cause the destructive phenomenon due to this high speed winds like storms, thunderstorms, cyclones, and even it is also causing various types of various types of cyclones. Okay, it also results in the tornadoes. Fine. So today also we are going to discuss about one such destructive phenomenon which is caused by the high speed winds, that is the thunderstorms. So these thunderstorms is an event in the environment which is accompanied with the strong winds which is blowing, and then it is going to bring heavy rainfall, thunder and lightning. So in the last class we have also discussed about that what is the definition of thunder, if you remember. So thunder means it is the loud sound which was produced due to the difference in the uneven heating because of the heating and expansion of the air, which expands in an explosive manner, which gives rise to that particular sound of thunder. And it is also accompanied because of lightning. And also we have seen the definition of lightning, which says that lightning means it is the heavy voltage which is caused because of the collision of the clouds having different types of charges in them. So this thunderstorm means it is the strong winds which is accompanied with the rainfall and the thunder and the lightning. So thunderstorms, they occur in hot and humid tropical regions mainly. Why it is so? Because in hot and humid tropical regions the rate of evaporation is much more higher, because already the temperature is hot and humid. So the humidity of the air is always bringing up the low pressure, develops a low pressure area, and if more low pressure area is being developed, it is going to cause strong winds to blow. Okay, so it is going to cause the strong winds to blow. So this region generally have the temperature which causes wind. Yes, so this I have told you that if wind will be caused, then it is going to create a low pressure area, and because of the low pressure area it is going to cause the winds. And if fast winds are blowing, it means there is a great chance of the thunderstorms to arise. So these hot winds, when they move upwards, they also have water vapor in them. Fine. So as these winds are moving upwards, they have water vapor within them, which freezes and falls on the earth's surface as in the form of rainfall. So it is going to fall on the earth's surface as in the form of rainfall. Then what happens? So this rainfall and the rising air, it creates lightning in the air, which is accompanied by the sound as a result of thunderstorm. So this word itself is a very long word, that is thunderstorms, means it is made up of two words, that is thunder and storms. And we know that thunder means it is the loud clap. Okay, thunder clap, or it is also known as loud roar. It is a loud sound which is being caused because of the collision of the clouds, which have different types of charges in them. So we will see that these thunderstorms, and storms means fast moving air. So if fast moving wind is coming and it is accompanied with the lightning and the roar of the clouds, it is known as thunderstorm. Okay, now this is a real picture of a thunderstorm where you could see the sparks coming out. Means thunderstorm is always accompanied with the strong winds, and it is also accompanied by lightning and the thunderclap. So this is the picture which is showing you a typical thunderstorm which is coming, which is arising. Next is that how is this thunderstorm formed? Let us study about the reason and about the way by which this thunderstorm is arising. So as you know that thunderstorms are mainly the result of fast moving winds. Okay, so it is the result of winds. Now how is this wind being so dangerous or so disastrous? Let's find out. So many times during a storm which brings heavy rainfall, we also hear a loud sound that is known as thunder. So please remember, what is thunder? Thunder is the loud sound which is being produced by the clouds which is coming towards each other. And as soon as the thunder comes, means after, see, whenever the thunder comes from the clouds, we also see a bright flashes of lightning as well. So we are going to see this lightning and the thunder enduring these thunderstorms. That is why its name is there. So a storm with thunder and lightning is known as thunderstorm. So this is a very small and a very you could say to the point definition of this word thunderstorm. It is a storm which with thunder and lightning, that is known as thunderstorm. So a thunderstorm is always accompanied, means it is always coming with the heavy rainfall or hail. Okay, so we have seen that there are various forms of precipitation, where the most common form of precipitation is rainfall in the liquid state, and if it is coming in the snow form, it is in the solid state. And sometimes when these are going to be, it is going to form a large pieces of snow, then it is known as the hail. So hailstorm is also prevailed when it is also prevailing when a thunderstorm arises, either with a rainfall or with a hailstorm. So the hail means it is the pallets of frozen rain or ice falling in the showers from the clouds, which is known as hail. So this thunderstorm is produced by the dark clouds which form at fairly low altitude, means height. This altitude means height, which is formed at a height. Now next is that why is this thunderstorm being generated, and this thunderstorm why it is being caused? Because of the wind, and why it is accompanied with the rainfall. Okay, so we see that it is accompanied with a loud sound that is called thunder, and it is also accompanied with the showers of rainfall. Okay, now next is that the thunderstorm it is going to develop in the hot and it in the typical areas of this hot and humid climate. Okay, so in hot and humid tropical climate regions. Now what happens? How it is being formed? How is this thunderstorm being formed? Because of the humidity. So when humidity is present, then what happens in the tropical region? If more and more humidity is present, it is having the chance that all the humid temperature, and because of the humidity, this is going to rise up because of the sun's heat, and more evaporation. If it is taking place, if more and more evaporation is taking place, then what will happen? If evaporation is more, it means cloud formation will be more. If cloud is forming more, then it is also bringing the rainfall. Now if evaporation is more, there is one more thing happening. It is also creating an area of low pressure. Now why is this low pressure very important to us? We have understood that whenever the air is moving upwards, whenever the air is being heated up, it moves upwards, creating a space in the place from where it is being evaporated. Now once this space is being generated, the hot air is bringing a gap, and this gap is filled, the space is filled by the fast moving this cold air is going to fill that particular place. So the speed is going to be decided because of this difference in the pressure. More low pressure will be there, more and more high pressure winds are going to fill that particular place. okay, so they fill that space. So it becomes very important to understand why this low pressure and high pressure difference is being created. This pressure difference is always being created because of the molecules of the air which is present on the surface of the on the surface of this land from where this evaporation is taking place, whether it is from the sea side or it is from the land side. So whenever this low pressure is created, it is always filled up by the air which is coming from the high pressure, means it is from the cold air. So this cold air is going to fill the space, and it is going to bring the storms or thunderstorms. Now thunderstorms, why? Because see, the sun's heat the surface of the earth. The hot surface of the earth warms up the air in contact with it. Okay, this is very clear that whenever sun's heat is coming, it is going to warm up the surface, and then what happens, whichever surface is at the contact, then it is going to be warmed up, or it is going to be heated up. So this warm air is being lighter, and it rises up, it creates a low pressure area. And I told you that from the surface where this evaporation is taking place, there an area is created which is having a low pressure. Okay, so when the low pressure area is being developed, the cold air rushes to take the place in the form of strong winds. Fine, so the strong winds are going to blow, and it is going to cover that particular area. As the warm air rises, it transfers the heat to upper level of the atmosphere, and it also brings it to cool. Okay, means it is going to this heat is going to be transferred, and this hot air becomes cool. Now the water vapor which is rising is going to be cooled and condensed to form a cloud. So this is very means it is a very natural phenomenon which is going to maintain this water cycle. You also have heard about this water cycle in your previous classes, where the evaporation is followed by condensation, and this condensation leads to the cloud formation. Okay, so this condensation leads to the formation of the cloud. Now once this cloud is growing upwards, or it grows upwards, or it is moving upwards into the area, the temperature comes to freezing point, means the freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius, means it is going to freeze. Some of the water vapor from the cloud forms tiny water droplets, and some of it turns into ice particles. Okay, so what happens inside the cloud? What is happening? Once this cloud is being formed, it contains water vapor, okay, and dust particles and all, it is there, but the temperature is coming to 0 degrees Celsius. Now once this temperature comes to this freezing point of water, the tiny droplets, some of the water which is present here in the cloud form, it is going to be in the form of the water form, means it is in the liquid form, means it is in the form of rainfall. Okay, and some of the water gets converted in the form of ice. Okay, it freezes. So now what happens? Some of the water forms, it is turned into ice particles, and some of them are in the tiny droplets form. Okay, now this water droplets are carried upwards in the cloud by convectional currents. So these droplets are going to be converted upwards, and the ice particles are coming downwards. Why? Because tiny particles are very lighter in its nature as compared to the snow, as compared to the ice particles. So because of which this friction is also caused. Now what is this friction word? Friction means it is the force which opposes the motion of any object, means it is going to stop the motion of any object. For example, if you are going to move on a surface which is very smooth, so there will be no friction, means there will be a chance of slipping over the surface which is very polished. Okay, now if you are moving on an uneven surface, then what will happen? Then you can walk very easily, because there is less chance of falling down. Why? Because there is more friction. So friction means you could say it is just like an hindrance, it is just like the resistance, or it is a hindrance part which is going to oppose the movement of any object. So it helps the object to stop. a ball is rolling on a surface, it stops after some time. Why it stops after some time? Because of friction. So friction here means it is going to stop the moving particles, means it is going to create certain heat, or it is going to create certain force between the particles which is moving here and there. It tries to stop the moving cloud, it tries to stop the moving particles. As a result, because of friction, the charges develop. Now what happens to these charges? So each and every cloud contains charge, okay? Either it could be minus or it could be plus form, okay? The charges are of two types. So either the charge would contain plus clouds, or it could contain the minus charge in them because of the friction in between the dust particles, friction in between the snow particles of the clouds. Now this friction, this ice particle produces the opposite charge. The friction between the fast rising water droplets in the cloud falling ice particle produces opposite charges. Now because of these opposite charges between the fast rising water droplets in the clouds and falling ice particles, they are going to be produced on them. Now what happens? This water droplets getting positive charge and the ice particles getting negatively charged. So the droplets are going to have positive charge, and the ice particles, which are solid in nature, they have negative charge. They are going to have negative charge. As this ice particle is heavier, it is coming down, it contains negative charge, and water droplets, this water droplets is lighter as compared to these ice, so it moves upwards and have positive charge. Now what happens? Due to this, the top of the cloud, so this top of the cloud becomes positive charge. Fine. So this becomes positively charged here. This top of the cloud becomes positive charge, and the below of the cloud becomes negatively charged. Why? Because the clouds are having, in the above side, it is having the water vapor, this is having the water droplets. Okay, why this is having water droplets? Because these are very tiny and they tries to move upwards. So while moving upwards, they acquire negative charge, they acquire the negative they acquire the positive charges. Okay, so the water droplets contains positive charge. Next, what happens? The water droplets acquire positive charge because they are lesser in their shape and size, and the ice particles, so that below side, it contains ice particles. So this ice particle are heavier, they are heavy, so they acquire negative charge. So the upper side of the cloud is positive charge and the lower side becomes negative charges. Now these are opposite charges are present in these clouds. Now what happens to the clouds when they are coming close to each other? So because of this opposite charges which is being developed in the cloud, so please remember that the up top of the cloud becomes positively charged, and below it is having this top becomes positively charged, and bottom of the cloud becomes negatively charged. So the large amount of opposite charges build up in the cloud, which brings tremendous amounts of electric current, passes through the air in the clouds and produces a big spark within a cloud. Now what happens? It is not only one cloud which is traveling in the atmosphere. There are number of cloud is very much higher. So once the opposite charge, or the clouds containing opposite charges, they come near to each other, they come closer to each other, they are going to have they build the opposite charges in them, and they start producing the big spark in the clouds. So this electric spark is known as lightning, and this is going to bring, this nearly heats up, this spark of the lightning heats up air too, and it is going to heat the air very much. This extremely hot air expands, and in the form of explosion, it is going to develop the thunder clap. Okay, it is going to bring the thunder, the noise which is coming because of the expansion of the air which is in the explosive manner. Now when this electric charges from the bottom of the electricity is charged, of the charged cloud flows downwards in the air to the ground, then we see a flash of lightning coming towards the earth. So when this charges are produced here inside the cloud, because of the air which is becomes very hot in its nature because of the expansion. Okay, because of the expansion. So this charges is seems to come down on the earth's surface. It is being shown in the form of this light flash of lightning, and the loud clap also comes in the form of this thunder. So this big droplets of thundercloud falls on the earth's surface in the form of hail. In this way, it brings a strong winds, thunder, lightning and heavy rainfall together with a thunderstorm. Okay, so that is why these thunderstorms are very much dangerous, because it brings three of the disastrous phenomena together. As high speed winds are there, strong winds are developed, then it is going to develop the charges in the clouds. Then clouds become positively charged on the upper side and negatively charged on the lower side. Now when this opposite charges are going to meet each other, it is going to create a large amount of spark, which is higher in the voltage. Now this is seen as if they are coming down on the earth's surface in the form of the lightning, and it is followed by a thunderclap. Why? Because of the high voltage, the air near the cloud gets expanded in a very explosive manner. So once this air is being expanding, it is going to give rise to that strong sound, loud sound. Okay, so this is how the thunderstorms are formed. So here this is shown in the diagram form, where ice crystals are moving downwards, which creates negative charge at the bottom of this cloud, whereas at the top of the clouds they becomes positively charged as tiny droplets are moving upwards. So because of this swirling motion or this round motion of the particles inside the cloud, it becomes positive and the negative charged, and because of which a thunder is being produced. Now next, what all do you think that some precautions must be taken while thunderstorm is coming? So yes, these precautions must be taken during the thunderstorms. Now why it should be taken? Because these thunderstorms must be creating a large number of destruction, and this destruction could be easily be handled when we are going to take certain precautions which are mentioned here. So when this thunderstorm is approaching, you could take the precaution in that manner, or if the thunderstorms are already there, so you could take the precautions during that thunderstorm. Now what are the precautions which are to be taken up while the thunderstorms are approaching, or while this thunderstorm is not present? Okay, so let's see. This thunderstorm is always accompanied by lightning. Okay, so this is always accompanied by the lightning. Lightning is a giant spark, electrical spark. Now when the lightning strikes the earth, it kills people. Why it kills people? Because it contains electricity in it, and it contains high voltage in it, because of which the people die when it strikes the person. It strikes any person, any object or any living creature. Okay, it is going to kill either a tree, or it is an animal, or it is a human being. It is killing everybody. So it is life taking or life threatening. Now what happens? We should take following precautions during the thunderstorm to protect ourselves from lightning and the strong winds. Okay, sometimes what happens when the strong winds come, it brings the objects which is coming upside, and it is going to bring the objects which is going to hurt the people who are coming in the place in between the thunderstorms, or in between these strong winds. Okay, in the path of these strong winds, it takes up everything whatever things is coming inside the path of these strong winds. Now what precautions must be taken? So the first one is that we should not sit near a window during lightning. Now if you are present in your home, or you are present in the car, then you should not sit near the window during lightning. Okay, you should open garages and storage sheds and metal sheds are not safer place to take the shelter during lightning. Why? Because metallic objects are highly conducting in nature, and if the windows are made up of metals, so they are also going to create certain problems when the lightning is striking. And if the lightning strikes, suppose that if the lightning strikes that metallic surface, it is going to be that charge is going to be flown in that particular object where the person is sitting. Now we should not take such shelters. Now we should also not take the shelter under an umbrella, because it has a metallic end. Okay, Now, this is because the metallic end of umbrella also acts as a conductor for lightning, and it could also harm us. Now, the third precaution, which is we should not take shelter under an isolated tall tree. This is because an isolated tall tree is much likely to be hit by the lightning due to the nearness from the clouds. Now, why this is always said that if an object which is at the highest, which is having a great height having a great height, has a greater chance of getting struck by that lightning. Why it is happening? Because of the distance from the cloud is nearer, so it wants to get stabilized. That is why it is going to hit any object which is much more taller in its nature. Now, if certain isolated place is there, means nothing is present. For example, one plain ground is there where only one tall tree is present, or any tree which is present on a simple ground, it means it is the tallest object in that particular ground which is more likely to be hit by that lightning. That is why if you are moving in a open ground, then it means you are the only tallest object which is present in that open ground. Okay, so it is you only, you will be targeted by that lightning. It is more likely to be targeted. So why it is being targeted? Because because this lightning is very much near. It tries to get stabilized because of the nearness to the clouds. Now, we should take shelter under a small tree. Okay, if we are taking the if we are taking the shelter under a small tree, then it means we are not lying down, or we should not lie down on the ground also during lightning. Why? If the lightning comes, then it could also hit the person, because the human body is a very good conductor of heat. Now, what happens? Electricity. Now, the fourth precaution which must be taken is that if you are inside a car or a bus, then it is a safe place to take shelter during lightning, because metallic object cannot conduct it can conduct electricity and without harming us. Fine, it is going to give that lightning on in the earth's surface very easily, as it is being connected to the metallic surface is connected with the ground. So it when the lightning comes, it is directly going into the ground. Okay, so it is going to be neutralized. So if we are getting inside a car, it is a safer place. Next is that if we are in water or in the swimming pool, when the thunderstorms begin, or the lightning begins to take place, we should immediately get out of the water and go inside a building. So if you are facing such condition when you are swimming and you feel that thunderstorms are coming, then you should quickly come out from the water, and you should enter inside your house and or a building, so that you could be safe. So these are the precautions which must be taken during thunderstorms. Now, lightning safety could also be there, because lightning are the worst part of this thunderstorm, because it is going to create lots of problem, and it is the life taking process of it is a natural destructive process, and it is mainly during the thunderstorms, because it is accompanied by the huge amount of lightning, and as it contains the spark, as it contains the high voltage, it could damage the people, it is not safe to take a shelter under a tree, because this is in the open field, because it is the nearness from the clouds is more fine as compared to this ground. So it is likely that the tree is going to be hit by that lightning. Next thing is that take a shelter in a hard top vehicle, which is much more safer. Then the safest place is that to go inside your house. Okay, if you cannot go indoor, you could stay in your vehicles. So these are the certain precautions which must be taken during thunderstorm and the lightning, so that you could be safe. Now, next thing is that this is the picture which is showing you that this 30-30 rule. Now, what is this 30-30 rule? So this 30-30 rule is going to tell you about the place that if you are struck in that lightning, or if you are struck in the thunder, if you hear the lightning it is thunder sound for 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds, now you have to take shelter for 30 minutes. Okay, please remember that. What is this 30-30 rule? This 30-30 rule says that if you are hearing the thunder clap just after the 30 seconds of the lightning, because lightning comes first, as lightning requires a medium to, it is not requiring any medium to travel, and sound requires medium to travel, means it is light could travel through space, whereas sound needs certain medium, either solid, liquid or gas, to travel very quickly. So what happens is lightning come first and thunderstorm, this thunder is going to come later after 30 seconds. Now if it is sound is coming lesser than the 30 seconds, then it is very much difficult, it is dangerous, so that the person should take at least 30 minutes gap in for coming out from the rows. Okay, so if the rows are being heard, please stay indoor for at least about 30 minutes. So it is written here, one should not take shelter under an isolated tree, as I told you, and we could take the shelter under a small tree. Next, one should not lie down also on the earth's surface. Next, we should not carry an umbrella, or we should not use any metallic rod. Next is that we should stay away from the windows and the doors at the time, and we should not take shelter in an open garage or metallic objects. Even this is advised to take a shelter in a car, because car or a bus is made up of metallic object, and this could lead the thunderstorm, this could lead the lightning to go inside the earth quickly, and it could neutralize. Now I think you all have heard about the lightning conductor. Now what is this lightning conductor? So this lightning conductor is an instrument which you could say that it is an instrument which is going to help you a lot, in the lightning, during lightning. So what is this lightning conductor? I must say, this lightning conductor is an instrument which is placed at the top of the house and one side, and on the other side it is being placed inside the ground. So this is having a metallic rod, it is just rising, it is present at the higher part from this house, so that if the lightning comes, it is going to fall on this metallic object. As it is made up of metal, it is going to definitely fall from, it is not going to fall on the object on your house, it is going to fall on this metallic rod. Now this metallic rod is connected with the earth wire, or this is connected with a wire, and it is having a plate inside the ground, which quickly takes up this charge from this lightning conductor, and it is neutralizing this electric charge inside the earth's surface. So this lightning conductor is very much important to be placed in your home, in your house, just above the house, and you could have also seen on the towers also, which is having a small rod which is being placed on the top of the tower or any tall building, so that if the lightning is going to come, it is going to hit that small iron pillar or small iron rod, because of which the building remains safe, and this conducts electricity in the ground and it neutralizes. So these were all precautions which are to be taken during lightning. So please remember this 30-30 rule, because of which you could remain safe. So stay indoor for about 30 minutes. Do not expose yourself in the thunderstorms. It is not a very good phenomenon. It is a destructive phenomenon. Please remember, you should always stay inside the home, and you should stay safe. Okay, in during this thunderstorms. So this was all about the thunderstorms and the lightning and the thunder. So we have all understood about how is this thunderstorm being caused, how the clouds are generating the types of voltage in it, and how is this lightning being caused, because of which it becomes a very destructive phenomenon. So this was all about thunderstorm. I will meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed.